My brothers attacked my character, so my dad changed his will. I was just about to take a bite of turkey and mashed potatoes when my oldest brother, Jensen, said, "I saw you added yourself to Dad's bank account." His voice was full of accusation. I blinked at him and nodded slowly. "To help with his prescriptions and other medical care," I said. Jensen laughed coldly. "There's no way you just dropped everything to come here and suddenly you're on Dad's bank account," he scoffed. "You're after all of the inheritance, aren't you?" My eyes widened in shock. "No," I said loudly. Jensen exchanged a glance with our other brother, Liam. "It makes sense." Liam nodded. "Of course you're just here for the money." His lip curled up into a sneer. I glanced at Dad, desperate for someone to defend me, but he just stared at us calmly and took a sip of his water. He didn't say a word. Jensen's cruel words brought my attention back to him. "Let's be real here," he said. "What have you done with your life, Ava? I mean, you're 29 years old and you dropped out of college, working retail, and you don't even have a car. You jump from job to job with no real dream." He shook his head in disappointment. My mouth was suddenly dry as I stared at my brother, face flushed with embarrassment. "I gave up everything to be here for Dad," I whispered. "Another thing," Liam said harshly. "Why weren't we informed about Dad's illness? You didn't call us to tell us how he was doing. You just came here and took over, to be closer to his money." My hands started shaking as I reached for my water glass to soothe my dry throat. "I'm not here for his money," I said quietly. I glanced at Dad as he casually cut into his turkey. He still didn't say a word. "Dad, you have to see this," Jensen said a little desperately. "Ava is playing you. She just wants your money." Silence fell as everyone was watching this play out. I was frozen in my seat, hands clutching my napkin on my lap. Dad just stared at Jensen until he shifted in his seat uncomfortably. Liam continued, "We've seen this kind of behavior before. Remember? With the Whitakers down the road, it was a huge scandal that eventually gave the old man a heart attack because he couldn't stand the betrayal. We're just trying to save you that same heartbreak." The blood drained from my face. "I'm not trying to steal anything," I snapped. Jensen shrugged. "Prove it," he said. "Take yourself off Dad's bank account. Tonight, before we have to involve the lawyers." My jaw dropped as I stared at him. "You can't be serious," I hissed. My brother just looked back at me calmly. I leaped to my feet and threw my napkin on the table. "Fine," I said sharply. "If that's how you all feel, then you obviously don't need me here. I'm leaving. Good luck taking care of Dad." I sneered that last part at my brothers and shoved my chair back. Before I could take a step, Dad slammed his fist down on the surface of the table, startling everyone. "Sit down, Ava," he ordered sharply. I sat, confused. Dad struggled to stand, using his cane. His glare could cut glass as he glanced around the table. His stare landed on Jensen. "When was the last time you visited me?" he asked quietly. Jensen froze, paling. "We visited you last weekend," he protested. Dad laughed, but it wasn't a happy sound. "You visited me to ask me if I've called your mother recently," he said. "That was the whole visit. And you, Liam, when was the last time you called me?" Liam looked like a deer in headlights. "I called," he began, but Dad cut him off. "You called for 5 minutes 2 days ago to ask me for help with your car payment. Ava has been there for me since this whole thing started. She gave up everything for me, and this is how you treat your sister?" He shook his head in disgust. "I made a second will 6 months ago. It was so quiet. I was waiting to see how you would treat Ava tonight, and that would determine what will I would leave. I wanted to see your character in action. Now that I've seen it, I'm not impressed. You're losing everything because you couldn't treat your sister with love and respect." Jensen leaped to his feet, face red with anger and embarrassment. "Dad, I'm sure we can talk about this," he said desperately. Dad sat back down. "My mind is made up," he said in a hard tone. Then he smiled at me. "Pass the rolls, will you, sweetheart?"